Good afternoon and welcome to today's BBC School News Report, live from Westminster Academy, London. I'm Hyria.
And I'm Issa. Today we're going to be covering various topics including
the latest sports news,
showbiz and entertainment,
a special report on the missing Malaysian plane,
the weather,
and our main story, how much of an impact has social media had on our youth.
And now over to Nadira, Janelle and Raina for the special report on the Malaysian airline.
Today's breaking news is the vanished plane flight MH370.
On Saturday the 8th of March, a Malaysian airline plane went missing when flying to Beijing from Kuala Lumpur. It was carrying 239 passengers. The co-pilot was heard to say "alright, good night" to Malaysian air traffic control. But a few minutes later, the plane's transponder, which communicates with the ground radar and tracks the plane, was shut down as the aircraft crossed Malaysian air traffic control into Vietnamese airspace over the South China Sea. Within hours, there was mass hysteria and a huge search took off with 6 countries and dozens of ships and aeroplanes stretching from Kazakhstan to the southern Indian Ocean.
Australian satellites said they found pieces of debris inside the middle of the Indian Ocean. Also, Thailand has confirmed that over 300 bits of debris was found in the ocean. Although it has not yet been confirmed that the wing found belongs to MH370, you can still argue it's theirs. On the 24th of March, the families of the missing passengers each received a phone call saying the plane had crashed. Relatives criticised the authorities for the lack of efforts they put in the search. Currently, the search for missing debris has been called off due to bad weather.
We now hand over to Nadira, who will be interviewing some people about their opinions about the missing plane.
Thank you, Janelle and Raina. Today I will be going around asking our community what they really think about the missing aeroplane. Hello gentlemen, thank you for giving us your time today. So tell me, what are your names?
I'm Mr. Van from the Maths Department.
And I'm Mr. Payne from the English Department.
How fascinating. Now please tell me, what do you think about the whole missing plane scenario that's been happening recently in East Asia?
We've been discussing this a lot in the staff room, haven't we, Mr. Van?
Right, particularly at the start, the absence of any news, just the theories we were coming out with got more outlandish.
Wild. There were rumours of hijack, rumours of alien abduction, and it was difficult to contain our imagination at times.
Right, which was a little bit naughty because of course you forget about the bereaved ones in the story.
Especially considering the awful way they've been treated, hearing by text message of their loss of their loved ones, which to me implied guilt on the part of the Malaysian Airlines, and to me also suggested some sort of part that they played in the disappearance, some sort of bureaucratic terrorism that led to the disappearance of the plane.
Quite.
Okay, so do you think that the Malaysian Airlines authorities should be working harder, putting more effort into the case?
That's difficult to comment on accurately, isn't it, Mr. Van?
Well, I think a case of this sort is simply unprecedented in terms of the scale they've had to be coming across, and I think it's very commendable that a lot of different countries have looked to donate resources and help out with the operation.
And I think when you consider the scope of what they're having to do, the costs of such an operation would be sky high.
I haven't even heard that talked about in the papers. I haven't even seen a cost.
Well, I think it's not as interesting to some of the readers. That I think it's a shame that we don't hear about the everyday repercussions of such a thing, and only the scandal that the newspapers deem worthy of their print.
Right. So, what do you think really happened to the plane?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to say, and I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I do think that there's been some sort of abduction, whether through human or extraterrestrial hands. I think there's definitely some foul play being conducted.
So you believe that it's been abducted by aliens?
Potentially by aliens, although I wouldn't commit to it 100%. Perhaps merely a human hijacking, but the total disappearance seems too great a mystery to be explained by mortal logic.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, gentlemen.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
What has happened to the plane, and do the Malaysian authorities have anything to do with it? Back to you in the studio.
Welcome back to the BBC School News Report live from Westminster Academy.
Thanks for that, guys. Now over to Noor and Jenny for the latest entertainment and showbiz news.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
And I'm Noor, and welcome to the BBC School News Report entertainment section.
Have you heard the latest news?
What latest news?
The Twitter news.
That was totes.
I know.
Weird.
Like, seriously.
I don't understand. I feel so bad for Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, and Ellen DeGeneres. Like, their tweets have gone missing.
I know, seriously. It's not even fair.
I know. It's crazy. This is the third time this month this happens.
I know, like, totally weird.
What are they like? Have you heard the other worldwide tragic news?
What news?
The one where Queen Bee and Drake, they've been selling fake tickets to their concerts?
That is so not fair. I mean, seriously, Queen Bee and Drake, like, that's totally, like, out of order.
I know. And police say that if you have one of those fake tickets, please do go to the police because they're investigating and trying to find out who has been doing this tragedy.
Thank you, and back to the studio.
Welcome back to the BBC News Report, live from Westminster Academy. And now, how much time did you spend on social media?
I don't know what I'd do without Twitter. Anyway, selfie time!
Okay then. Anyway, now over to Stina for more on the story. Give me that.
The 21st century is a golden age of technology and new means of communication. This mode of communication comes in forms of social networking such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp and Snapchat. Some may describe these as forms of media as addictive, time-consuming and unsafe for young children. However, others describe these as revolutionary, innovative and sensational. I'm here to dig deeper into the idea of social networking and, more importantly, how it affects the new generation. I spoke to Mr. Robbins, sixth form teacher who specialises in social media. Here's what he told us. How have you seen social media evolve through time?
How have I seen social media evolve through time? When I was at school, we didn't even have computers. And then when I started work, we started to get email. And now people have everything on their phone. So since I was at school, which was some time ago, it's gone a bit crazy, I think. Yeah, we're advancing very quickly, progressing technically, that is.
Did you ever predict that teenagers would become this engrossed in online communication?
When I was young, it's always going to be like that, isn't it? When I was young, we used to pretend that we were in Star Trek and we had the walkie-talkies like that. So we used to pretend with these pretend walkie-talkies, and now everyone's got these walkie-talkies. So I think technology, as I said earlier, is progressing very quickly. I think unfortunately there's byproducts of that, positive and negative. And young people have access to technology that's way beyond anything that we used to even imagine. And I think it's our duty as teachers and sort of like adults in the world to educate them how to use it.
Do you think that social media has a negative or positive impact on teenagers and young adults?
I'm going to refer you to my previous answer. I think it's a bit of a minefield. Like anything, any technology has positives and negatives associated to it. I think we live in an age where things are moving very, very quickly, and I think that can unsettle and unnerve people. But I think the biggest question is not sort of the technology, but it's how we use it and how we're educated to use it and educated not to use it. And I think it's all about how we approach it. And I just hope we are teaching young people how to approach it in the right way.
Thank you for that. Now, 70% of teens use social media, and an average teen has over 200 Facebook friends. However, the shocking thing is that most of the teenagers have never met their online friends face to face and don't even know them. The majority of people who don't have social networking accounts believe that it can have negative impacts on people due to the fact that they cannot relate to the real world and do not interactively socialise with people face to face. On the other hand, technology has made a great leap from writing letters to people to writing text on phones. Overall, I think that when used in the right way, technology is a brilliant thing for improving our society. Thank you. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Tina, for that interesting report.
There's been a lot going on in sports, so let's hand it over to Ulix and Mohammed for the latest sports news.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the sports section of the BBC School Report with me, Mohammed, and my colleague Ulix.
Yesterday, there was dramatic action in the Premier League as Liverpool survived the nervy ending against Sunderland. Kim Se-young scored for the visitors as the Black Cats tried to mount a comeback, but it was to no avail as the Reds came out 2-1 victors. This means that the title race will now go down to the wire as Liverpool are now 1 point behind leaders Chelsea.
Hull City suffered a defeat to West Ham after James Chester netted in his own net, meaning the score became 2-1. This now ends the three-day defeat for Sam Allardyce, his worst since 2011. Moving on to the tennis, Novak Djokovic knocked out Andy Murray in the Sony Open in Miami in straight sets 7, 5 and 6-3. The Serb moves on to the semi-finals where he will face Kei Nishikori.
Amir Khan will fight Louis Carloza in April, and the last time he fought was last April, and he will fight this fight after Floyd Mayweather will fight Marcos Maidana. Here is an interview from a professional boxing coach.
Good morning, Mr. Phillips. Thank you for taking your time out this morning to allow us to interview you. We all know about the hype surrounding Floyd Mayweather and Amir Khan, but tell us, what do you think about the fight Khan's going to take on with Louis Carloza on May the 1st?
Good question, thank you. It's a really interesting fight. Louis Carloza has been around a long time. He's a very experienced boxer, very experienced at the weight, and he's boxed against some of the greatest fighters at that division. He's never won a world title, although not far off it. I think Khan believes he's too fast for him. His hand speed will dominate, but Carloza is a tough, experienced pro, and he's been comfortable at his weight for some time. Conversely, Khan has never fought at Carloza's weight before, at welterweight. It's his first time. It's a big arena. He's fighting away from home, and I think Carloza is going to relish that. He's going to enjoy going in there and showing him what boxing at the very highest level is all about. It's a difficult fight for Khan. I think if he boxes, moves well, boxes the way he can keep him away from him and win the fight on points. If he gets tired, or Carloza's movement, and Carloza has fantastic head movement, gets the better of Khan, Carloza can knock him out, and that will probably happen in the 8th or 9th round, if that's going to happen. And so it's not, if Khan wins that fight, it gives him an opportunity to go on and fight again for a world title, possibly against Danny Garcia, possibly against Floyd Mayweather. But it's, this is probably, I would put this down as Khan's, if not his toughest, one of his toughest tests.
Thank you for listening to our report on BBC Sport, and back to the studio.
Thanks guys, and lastly here's Rizna with the weather forecast.
Thank you, and today's UK weather looks like another chilly day, highest temperatures reaching 12 degrees Celsius in the northwest. And as we travel down south, we have some mild showers, and going west, it gets drier. And looking at Friday's temperature, it looks like it reaches 14 degrees Celsius with clear spells, and we have some fog patches, clearing with some sunny weather in the east. And south, we have some wind. And that's it from me. And if you would like more information, please visit our website www.bbc.co.uk//weather.
And sadly, that's it from us.
But we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
Thank you and goodbye.